Hello, my dear children. Welcome to today's session. So, what are we learning today? Today, we are learning about the skills of people. Every person has some or the other talent, and if they do not have talent, also they acquire one, they learn something and get skillful, right? So, we should respect talent and skills of each and every person, how that particular skill helps that person to earn his or her living, and how that particular skill is comes useful for other people. That is all we are going to discuss in this particular chapter. So there are different occupations, there are number of work that we cannot do on our own. We cannot build our house on our own, we cannot cut furniture, make furniture on our own, we cannot mend our shoes, we cannot cut our hair. There are so many things we cannot fix, very defaulty wires, just small electricity work we can do, but the electricity work that requires special kind of knowledge, we can't do that on our own. We cannot fix our leaking pipes and taps. So for all these things, we need an external help. And from where do we get that help? We get that help from the person who is skilled to do that particular work, correct? So, this includes works that are done by other people. The work that is done to earn a living is called a job or an occupation. Now, importance of different occupations. Now, sir, first of all, what is a job? What is an occupation? In house, we do a lot of work, but with those work, we are not being paid, we are not earning money with that. So that is not our occupation. So the work with which we are earning our living, we are earning money, that particular work is called a job or an occupation. Now, what is the importance of different occupations? In our daily life activities, we depend on the services of many people. The services that they give us, the goods that they sell us, we depend on those particular things. So, we depend on domestic helper, garbage collector, mechanic, electrician, doctor, and many more. Different people have different occupations, like the police keep our neighborhood safe, doctors and nurses treat us when we fall ill, teachers provide us with education, defense forces they guard our country borders, actors, musicians, sport persons they provide us with entertainment and make us laugh. Now, stand-up comedy. Comedians are a new profession. Now, it was a profession earlier, but now this particular profession has gained a lot of popularity and it is thoroughly for our entertainment purpose. Thus, every occupation is important in our daily life and we must treat all work with respect. So this is a picture of domestic helper, electrician, doctor, teacher, right? So National Doctors Day was first celebrated on 1st July in 1991 in honor to Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy. Now, this is mechanic. Now, need of skill in occupation. Some occupations require skills or special training. For example, repairing a car, building a house, or driving a car. We need to learn these things before we enter in this job or occupation. But on the other hand, there are some work which does not require any special training or any special education. So, for example, garbage collectors, shopkeepers, delivery people, domestic helpers, they do not require any special education or special training to do these kind of jobs. Now, you have to write over here that what is your father's occupation, what do they do by profession, whether they are teachers or doctor or lawyer or engineer or businessman or fashion designer, interior designer, architect. What is your father's occupation? And you can write your mother's occupation as well. What would you like to do when you grow up? So just think about it and write over here that what occupation would you like to choose when you grow up. Now, skills can be learned in different ways. People learn skills in different ways. Many people get various skills through natural talent and develop it more with practice over years. For example, some people are naturally beautiful dancers or singers or painters, and when they have this natural talent in them, if they practice it more, if they get special training in that field even more, then they can enhance that talent more and they can be professional in that particular field. So, for example, singers, dancers, actors, some skills are also passed on from one generation to another in the same family. So, you must have heard that this particular profession is our ancestral business. It has been passed from generations to generations, right? So, for example, pottery making. Grandfather was a potterer, then father, then the son. Everyone in the family, they are the potters. Then weaving, jewelry making, carpentry, etc. All these are the professions which are being passed from generation to generation. These skills are localized within a family, village, or a region. Due to this, the region where they are localized become famous. So, for example, Pashmina shawl of Kashmir, blue pottery of Jaipur, Kantha work of Bengal, and silk weaving of Kanjipuram. So, what happens that a skill in a family which is passed from generation to generation, these belong to one particular region. So, in Jaipur, blue colored pottery, everyone over there from past so many ancestors, they are making this kind of pottery, and that is why this blue pottery has become symbol of Jaipur. So if we need blue colored pottery, which state comes to our mind? It is Jaipur. Similarly, if we talk about Pashmina shawls, Kashmir. Kantha work, Bengal, and that is why embroideries and art form belongs to a particular state, right? Now, what are professional skills? A profession is an occupation based on specialized training and knowledge. Some skills are learned through formal education and training in a professional college, so that person getting the training may develop an expertise. So there are few occupations which are actually professions, and these professions, they require very special education. It requires a special training so that a person becomes an expert in that particular field. For example, teacher, lawyer, doctor, fashion designer, interior designer, all these are the professions. All these are the professions in which people require some special training. For example, doctor, nurses, engineers, architect, lawyer, teacher, etc. They require formal education followed by a training in training institutes, right? So first they gain all the knowledge, then they join as trainees in the training institutes in different fields, and then they become expert in that particular field. Now, uses of tools and machines for different work. People use different tools and equipments to do their work. Like doctor's tool is the stethoscope, cobbler has special tools, teacher's tool is blackboard, chalk, duster, potter's wheel is for pottery. So, tools and machines help professionals to carry out their duties smoothly. A doctor uses a stethoscope for checking his or her patients. Cobbler uses knife, needle, thread, etc. to mend the shoes. Teachers uses pen, chalk, duster, blackboard, books to teach. The potter depends upon potter's wheel to make beautiful pots. Now, uniforms are special clothes worn by people in some professions. For example, which professions uses a uniform and they wear uniform to their workplace? Policemen, driver, doctor, nurses, lawyers, etc. Now, do you think that the work, any occupation, any profession, any job is restricted to a particular gender? Okay, this job is for females and this job is for males. Is it that? No, not at all. But in earlier times, it was believed that most of the occupational work, most of the professional work will be done by men and by the males in a society, and females will remain at home and just do the household chores. But nowadays, as the time has developed, as people have progressed, there is a no gender biasness and everyone can do any kind of job. There are males who live in the house and do household chores, and women go out to work, and vice versa. So everyone does every kind of work, whether it is occupation, whether it is a profession, or whether it is household chores. In earlier times, most of the work was done by men. Professions such as defense, police service, driving a car, flying aeroplanes did not allow women to work. But nowadays, no occupation is limited to only men or women. With changing times, these professions have given women the opportunity to set an example for other people to join the police, defense services, driving a car, and even flying aeroplanes. So nowadays, there are female pilots, there are female drivers who drive rails, trains also, and female car drivers are like very common now. These are the terms that we have learned today. Occupation is a job or profession, the way in which you spend your time. Dignity is something that deserves respect. Expertise is expert knowledge or skill in a particular subject, activity, or job. Professional is a member of a profession or any person in a specified professional activity. Also remember that occupation is a work that is done to earn a living. We depend on the services of many people such as domestic helper, garbage collector, mechanic, electrician, doctor, etc. Some occupations require skills or special training and some do not need any training. People learn skills in different ways. A profession is an occupation based on specialized training and knowledge. People use different tools and machines for different work. Let's complete the exercise given over here and see what have we learned today. You have to choose the correct option. A person who helps us when we fall ill. Doctor. Who is someone who creates art? That's an artist. Who among these keep our neighborhood safe? Police. What does a teacher do? A teacher helps children learn new things. Let's fill in the blanks. Chemist is a person who sells medicine. Shawls are woven in Kashmir. So, Pashmina shawls to be specified. Cobbler uses needle and thread to mend shoes. In earlier times, most of the work was done by men. Tick the correct statements, cross out the wrong ones. Writing is an occupation. Yes, it is. People write books, they are writers. Actors, musicians, dancers, they provide us with entertainment, correct? Every occupation requires skill, not every occupation. Stethoscope is a tool used by teachers, false. A woman can be a pilot. Of course she can be. You have to answer the following questions in your notebook yourself and we can discuss over here in short. What is occupation? So any work which is being done to earn a living is called an occupation or a job. Why there is a need of skill in occupation? To carry out that work efficiently. So skill is required for that particular occupation. For example, mechanics, plumber, electrician. Why people use different tools for different works? Different tools help the people to carry out their occupation, and that's why tools are being used for different works. How does a domestic helper help us? Domestic helper help us in many ways, in cleaning our house, washing our utensils, sometimes in cooking. watering the plants, keeping a good care of a house. How can you say that gender equality is increasing? You can give an example of women pilots as compared to earlier times, or women drivers as compared to earlier times. These are the fun-based questions which you have to do yourself with your family, with your friends, and have fun with the lesson. Look at the picture and make a wonderful project on it. Write its importance in our locality, and you can also use internet that why are dustbins important in your locality, how many types of dustbins are there, and what are their importance. Now you have to make a list of different occupations followed by the people in your locality, 2 things that they like about their work. So just make a list of the different people who are carrying out different occupations in your locality. That can be a sweeper, that can be a street cleaner, that can be garbage collector, that can be a domestic helper, chemist in your locality, doctor in your locality. So there are many other occupations. So make us just do a survey and write these things, that 2 things that they like about their work, 2 things that they do not like about their work, what training aid they require, and from where did they get trained, how did they get this occupation, get into this occupation, and what are the tools that they use, and without these tools they will not be able to carry out their occupation. All right. Now you have to surf internet and find these facts, that who was the first Indian woman to join Indian police service, first female Indian teacher, first Indian woman to fly aircraft. Okay. Now there is a picture over here, and there is a riddle attached with it, and they're asking, who am I? My hands are dirty most of the time. I use oil, grease, and other tools to fix your vehicle when it is broken. So that's a mechanic, a car mechanic. People need me when the pipes in their home are leaking. I usually fix water supply lines, drains, and sinks. That I am a plumber. That's all for today in this lesson. I hope you have learned a lot about different occupations that are there in locality around you in the world, and there are so many other occupations that are still to be explored. So keep learning, keep shining. Bye bye.